It's Juice TV's 3rd birthday, but you're getting all the presents. Eli wants to be a firefighter and proves he's already got what it takes at the Queensland Fire and Rescue Service. Charlotte meets a nurse who literally aims high every day at work. And Morghan discovers how to build a 78-storey treehouse with Andy Griffiths himself.
Hello, my name's Fatima. Happy birthday, Juice TV. Juice TV, you're 3 years old. I've done a few things on Juice TV before. I've done singing and dancing with playing with animals. Today, I'm the host. More about me later. Everyone on Juice is aiming high. Let's see Eli to see what he's aiming for.
Hey guys, it's Eli. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of the Roma Street Fire Station. But first, I want to tell you why I'm here. So, a couple months ago, I got burnt in a hot oil accident at home. That probably really inspired me to take up a career as a firer because it helps teach me about situations like that and how I can handle them and how I can teach other people. Let's get into it. My tour guides for today are Station Officer Mark O'Brien and Inspector Richard Gorey.
G'day mate, how you going?
Hey
Eli, how you going?
Good,
Come on in.
thanks.
Good to see you.
This isn't the first time we've met. We go way back to the 2017 Bridge to Brisbane. First stop, the duty office. So Mark, can you just tell us what happens here in the station office, please?
Yeah, Eli, this is the duty office. This is where the crews come in the morning to work out where they're riding on which truck and what duties they have for the day and planning their activities around emergencies.
Oh yeah. And Richo, what sort of roles within the fire station and how many people are usually on duty at one time?
Roma Street Fire Station, number 2 station, has 12 people on shift at any one time. It's a very busy station, it's one of the busiest in Brisbane region, and we've got a wide variety of capabilities here. We've got a frontline pumper, we've got a telescopic aerial appliance, we've got an aerial appliance, and we've got a technical rescue response vehicle. So a lot of skills the people here have to maintain.
Come on through, mate.
Next up, Mark's taking me to the turnout room.
Turnout room is where all the gear is kept, and then this is where the guys and girls come to figure out where they've got to go. So big maps up on the wall so they can refer to that and figure out how to actually get to the emergency incident. Once they've figured that out, they come to their lockers. You can see through here, so each individual person's locker, and they get their gear out, get dressed really quickly, and then they're straight out one of these 2 doors at the end here. So out the doors, into the truck, and then off to wherever they need to get to. So Eli, now that you've seen the turnout room, I figured there's only one way to figure out what a firefighter actually feels like, and that's to get dressed up as a firefighter. So would you like to put some of the gear on?
Yeah, sure. So.
Excellent. All right, let's step through. So first of all, you're going to have to put your boots and your turnout pants on. So you got your shoes off, so step straight into those and pull them up. Nice tight fit. Those boots are steel caps, so they keep you safe in case you're stepping on anything nasty. Just goes in. Righto, pull those pants up, and you're going to have a big brace on there as well, so you've got to work that up around your back, over the back of your feet. Getting there. Righto, braces go up over your shoulders, pull those up. That's it, we can zip those pants up later. Now your jacket's got to go on, mate. Just like a ski jacket, it's big and heavy, but these protect you from heat, which is obviously the aim of the game. Little long, not so bad. Okay, last of all, helmet. Bang that on. Fantastic, and you're almost ready to go. Okay, now you're all kitted up, as we call it. What do you think? How does it feel?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's not what I thought. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, I have to say, but you know, I guess it'll do the job pretty well, protect you from the heat. So, yeah.
You're right, that's exactly the reason why we wear it. It protects us from the heat. How do you think you go in Bridge to Brisbane? 5Ks in turnout gear? Pretty hot?
Yeah, I reckon it'd be pretty hard work. Yeah, not easy, especially with the oxygen tanks on as well. It'd be even harder.
I reckon you get there one year. Keep practicing.
So, rightio, this is where all the hard work happens, in the gym. So, Mark, what do you sort of do generally in here?
Look, the guys and girls can come into the gym either before they start work or at the end of a shift sometimes if they've finished all their other duties and maintain their fitness. So being fit's a really important part of being a firefighter. So this enables them to maintain their fitness.
To get into the fires, what sort of level of fitness should you have beforehand?
Look, you have to have a really good general level of fitness. You don't have to be a super athlete of any sort, but you do need to be well fit to make sure you can carry out your duties when you need it to.
Got some. This guy's a beast. Look at him go, mate. Beast or a show off. Alright, guys, come on in. That's enough. Right, here we go. This is how it's done. Yeah, good effort, boys. Now onto the trucks. Right, guys, let's get down to business. Now, this is 502 Juliet, J for Juliet. Let's show you some of its features. So if we come over here, this is the pump. This pumps through all the water. Makes it come out this hose here. This is just a small hose for sort of smallish fires, like a house fire or something like that. So Mark, is that right?
Yeah, you're spot on, mate. Like I said, this thing's called the pump. So this is where we put all the water into the truck and then make the water come back out with lots of more speed and pressure. So this hose that you're referring to is a small hose. We call this a case 1. Lots of small hose that still puts out a lot of water. It'll fill your bathtub in about a minute with this hose and spray water a long way. It's for a smaller fire. If we need a lot more water for a bigger fire, we can use these outlets and we need to connect a hose to it. So come on down here. So I'll open up this locker here and we can see these are the bigger hoses. So these are what we call a 64 or a case 3. And at the end of it, we get this special, what we call a nozzle or a branch, and that goes on the end of that hose and we can control the flow of water out of there. So it'll put out about 7 times as much water as that little hose that we've got over there. Yeah, it's a lot of water.
Right, so guys, next up we have the oxygen and first aid in here. So Mark, if you want to open that up and we'll have a look.
Let's open it up.
Sweet.
Okay, so like I said, first aid. First aid kits are over here. This is an oxygen cylinder, so we can provide oxygen first aid to people if they are in need. And this is a defibrillator, so if people are suffering from heart conditions, that can assist in helping them there. First aid kit up the top, and then like I said, we have our cylinders on a back plate. We call it breathing apparatus, and that gives us a fresh reservoir of air to breathe so we can go into a fire in dangerous situations and still have fresh air to breathe. So we can open that up and have a look at them. This is the breathing apparatus, we call it. It goes on your back just like a backpack, and then it zips up with some straps on your shoulders, a strap on your waist. And it's got, as you can see on the back, a cylinder. That's full of compressed clean air. And then to breathe that, obviously I've got a face mask. So the face mask goes over my face, turn on the cylinder, and that gives me about half an hour worth of nice, fresh, clean air to breathe in a smoky fire. Yeah, so vitally important. This is why we can go into a house fire when it's not safe for other people to be anywhere near it.
So Mark, from my personal experience, the way that I think you should do with a fire is pretty much stop, drop and roll. Get out of it as quickly as possible. Don't go back in to get anything. Leave everything where it is. Call 000 and sort of let them handle it from there. Is that pretty much what you should do?
Yeah, I think you've covered all the main fire safety messages there. If there is any fire on your body, you do need to stop, drop and roll to get that fire out. The most important thing with fires is obviously they are dangerous. So if there is a fire that is dangerous, you need to get out of wherever it is, let everybody else know to get out, and then do exactly what you call, you said, call 000. And they're the important things to do if there is a fire.
Mark, thanks heaps for having me along today. It's been great. I hope that this has inspired people who want to become a firefighter to really chase that. And it's inspired me as well. So yeah, thanks heaps for having me.
No worries, Eli. It's been great having you here at the station with the guys today. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Eli. When I grow up, I want to be a ballet dancer.
She's 8 years old loves to dance, and is smashing hosting duties with sass and style. Let's get to know Juice TV superstar, Fatima.
I like netball because I play with all of my friends. I love shooting hoops. My favorite movie is Marshall and Bud because it's funny. Marshall eats lollies every single day and brushes her teeth after. My dad's embarrassing because he runs around with his friends. Dad, I love when you make my hairstyles. My proudest moment is going to school because I love maths and friends help me about maths, and we do lots of experiments. If I have anyone to come to my birthday, it would be my friends because they look after me. The voice that I can do is Elmer. Welcome to Sesame Street. Yay! My favorite dance move is this. My best party trick is this. Now, let's cross to Charlotte. She's meeting someone that wanted to be a nurse. She aimed high with her goal. She ended up in the sky.
Hey guys, it's Charlotte and I love to dance. That might look simple, but like most things, it's a lot harder to do when you're thousands of feet up in the air. Yep, it's definitely so much harder to do it from up here. Now, imagine having to do a really important job while you're flying through the air that could save people's lives.
That's exactly what Emily does. She flies through the air and helps a ton of people. So, she's a superhero? So, Emily, how'd you get your superhero powers?
I don't have any superhero powers.
You said that you could fly through the air and save people's lives.
I do fly through the air and I do help save people's lives.
How?
I'm a life flight helicopter nurse.
What's that?
So basically I just go up in the helicopter. You sometimes hear it land on the roof.
A lot of the time.
Yeah, and we go out, we'll go into the country and we'll pick up kids, people who need to come here.
Is it a pretty hard job to do sometimes?
Sometimes it is, yeah, sometimes it can be really tough, but it can also be really rewarding.
That sounds really impressive, Emily, but what's your role in the helicopter? What do you do?
So I'm the nurse on the helicopter and I work out of the Brisbane base. So it's out of the international airport out there.
Yeah.
And basically what we do is we'll get a call from one of the doctors to say somebody's pretty sick and that they need us. So we get all of our bags, we take our blood, we take our medications and we put them all on the helicopter. So then what we do is we land the helicopter and we just treat the patient like they would if they're in a normal emergency department. We treat them and bring them back to either Lady Salento or one of the other hospitals.
Cool, that sounds hard.
Yeah, but we've got a really good team. So in the helicopter, there's 2 pilots that sit at the front, and then there's a doctor and myself that sit at the back. So we all work together and work as a really good, nice team. We help each other out.
It's like you all have something that the other one doesn't.
Exactly, it's a perfect team.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like a puzzle piece and you just click.
Exactly, and that's why we work so well.
How long have you been wanting to be a nurse and why?
So I've been a nurse for 10 years now, so quite a long time. And I always wanted to do something where I could help people. I worked in emergency departments a lot, and I also worked in the outback. So I was an outback nurse for 6 months. But 2 years ago, I started working on the helicopters. It's quite a different very different to normal nursing, but it's really interesting.
It sounds like a lot of fun at the same time.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Except that there's someone out there that needs a lot of help. I've been in hospital for about 2 weeks now, and I've heard the helicopter land near the roof many times. And I was wondering if there was anything you'd like the patients to know about your job.
I think that they should know that we're there for everybody. Like, we're there for children, we're there for adults, and it's a really safe service, and we don't want them to feel uncomfortable if they ever need to use us. So when they're there, there's always going to be 2 pilots, there's always going to be a nurse, and there's always going to be a doctor, and our sole occupation is to try and look after them. So
Sounds like you really like this job.
yeah, it's a pretty special job.
Well, Emily, on behalf of everyone that has used LifeFlight and people that might use it in the future, I'd like to say a really big thank you for doing that. And I'd like to give an even bigger thank you, not actually, I'd like to give a really big thank you for joining us on Juice TV and coming to the hospital.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this interview.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We want you to be a part of Juice TV. We're always on the lookout for hosts, interviewers, behind-the-scenes helpers, and mini-producers. You can be any age, you don't have to have any experience. How much easier could it be? To find out the next time we're filming at the hospital, just head to our website, juicedtv.com.au, or our Facebook page. For loads of fun to break up your stay in hospital, join the Juice crew. Send us an email at hello@juicetv.com.au or speak to any of the volunteers wearing green shirts throughout the hospital and let them know you want to be involved in the one and only Juice TV.
Like I just said at the start, it's Juice TV's birthday. Someone who's been there at the start is Chris Wayne. He's a magician.
Hey.
How do you make a rabbit disappear?
I've been a magician for 13 years now, and I've never done magic with a rabbit because I try and do magic with household items and props that normal magicians don't use. So when a normal magician might wear a top hat and a cape, I wear suits with jackets and that kind of stuff. And when some magicians like to use rabbits or doves and stuff like that, I prefer to use some crazy items. Like I've done on Juice TV for the last 3 years. We've done magic with all sorts of things, like we've done it with ropes and bowling balls and lots of different things.
How do you do magic?
How do I do magic? Well, for me, the most important thing about magic is making it fun to watch. And I love making people laugh, and I love showing people tricks, especially on Juice, so that they can learn themselves. And I think there's 3 things with magic that are really important when you're learning a magic trick. Number 1 is never tell people how the trick works. Now, I break that rule a little bit when I'm doing Juice, because I want to teach people that are watching Juice how to do magic. Rule number 2 is I never do the same trick twice for the same person, because the second time they might catch you out. But rule number 3 is the most important one, and it's practice. When you want to be a magician, you have to practice and practice and practice.
Can you show me a trick?
Do you want me to show you a trick right now?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to, Fatima. I don't feel very well today. Wait. Oh.
How did that get in your mouth?
I don't know.
Thanks, Chris, for being here. Morghan is gonna find out how to make a big treehouse.
Hi, I'm Morghan, and I want to live in a tree. And when I say tree, I mean treehouse. And when I say treehouse, I don't mean any old treehouse. I mean a 78-story treehouse. It's got everything: a bowling alley, a see-through swimming pool, a tank full of man-eating sharks, and a secret lab. Only problem is, I have no idea how to build it. Luckily, there are people at QPAC who do. Before we get into all this super awesome multi-story treehouse goodness, the treehouse has many stories, as in levels, but also many stories, as in books. There's been 13, 26, 52, and 78. And they're written by the mega talented and funny Andy Griffiths. For those people who don't know, could you tell us what the Treehouse series is about?
That's a hard question. It's about me, Andy, and my friend Terry, who's the illustrator, trying to write a book, but we can't write the book because there's so much happening in our treehouse, and Terry is so distracted that there's all this stuff going on, and that's what the book is about, not being able to write a book, and eventually the book gets written. But it's the book gets written about all the stuff that was happening while we should have been writing the book. So it's a lot of fun.
What do you love about writing the series?
Well, I guess I get to imagine myself in a total fantasy setting, and I've always told stories to children that are not quite true. You know, it'll be me featuring, if I fought a shark or I went down into a volcano, and they'll go, "That's not true, that couldn't be true." And I'll say, "Yes, it is. Look at this scar on me. You know, see this red thing? I got that from the volcano." And so they love this game of make-believe, and that's what the book is, an extended exercise in a ridiculous story that couldn't possibly be true, but told as if it's absolutely true. And so yeah, I get to live in my treehouse in my imagination.
Are there more stories and stories coming?
There sure are. We put out 91 story this year, and 104 story treehouse will come. And then we'll work on 117. So it's a never-ending, just joyous process.
Do you have a favourite room in the treehouse?
Well, it's funny you should ask. In the 78-storey treehouse, I've got my very favourite level, Andy Land, which is where we had a cloning machine level, and we cloned hundreds of Andys to help us build a wheelchair access ramp. And afterwards, I couldn't bear to just get rid of them, so I made a land where everyone is Andy. And it's a land I like to go to where I can always count on a friend and someone who can understand me and laugh at my jokes, because they're all me. Although in this play, in the 78-storey treehouse, I can't count on them. They tell me that they like Terry better than me, so it's very sad.
The stage production of the 78-storey treehouse has had its world premiere right here at QPAC Brisbane. And starring in the show is Sam and Teal. Hey guys, thanks for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about the roles in the show?
My name's Sam Welsh and I play Andy in the show.
My name's Teal Howie and I play Terry in the show.
It's a fun role. A lot of kids might know it's a wild, wacky book, so hopefully we can do a bit of justice on stage as well. So
we get to be best friends throughout the show, and then that kind of gets torn apart as our sort of stories go separate ways. And Mr. Big Shot comes in and is filming the Treehouse movie, and Terry becomes the star. So it's a bit of tension there, which is nice to play with, but then at the end it all comes back together.
Yeah, well, I mean, out of all the books, this is the first time that Andy and Terry, who are best friends in the books and the show, actually have a bit of a fight or a tiff, and so that's a bit of fun as well to play that as well.
We'll have fabulous backdrop, cameras and lights. The very first take, we will get it all right. We're making a movie, our very own movie.
Do you have a favourite room or story in the treehouse?
That's a good question.
The combining machine level's pretty good.
The combining machine's fun.
That's new in our treehouse in the 78 story. It's as you'll see in the show, the combining machine. It's a fun invention. Terry invented it.
It's a good time. Yeah,
it's a good time. We don't know what we put things in, and we don't know what's going to come out. So hopefully it surprises some of the audience as well.
I like the Scribbletorium, I think, because it's that Andy's kind of
that's
getaway.
It's Terry's room.
Terry's room, yeah, and Andy kind of escapes to that.
Yeah,
and that's a creative outlet for him. So I like the Scribbletorium. I think I'd like to just sit in the Scribbletorium
just
for
draw
a whole day and just have a draw.
Yeah.
This is a big question for us. How do you create a 78-storey treehouse on stage?
That's a very good question. Well, when we put this show together, we realised that I don't think there's ever going to be a theatre big enough for 78 stories. Mm-hmm. So we have to invent it in a theatrical and creative way. So with the power of theatre and hopefully good acting, we can do that by, we've got a fabulous team that have created the beautiful set behind us and made all the sounds and lights and things like that. So it just takes Andy and Terry to imagine it on stage and
And a bit of imagination as well from the audience.
What's the best thing about being a part of this show?
Getting to be a big kid and just getting to play, and it's a really playful, fun kind of show to be a part of. So it's really nice to play with that and explore the treehouse world.
I think this show in particular, doing this show every day, it doesn't seem like a chore, and it's so much fun and so high energy, and the kids love it, and so it's really nice to bring a book to life on stage that so many kids across the world love.
You've come to visit on a very special day.
It is possible to build a super epic multi-storey treehouse with as many cool features as you want. Because according to Terry and Andy themselves, all you need is the power of theatre, imagination, and hopefully good acting. In fact, the possibilities are endless. A library of never-ending books, a zoo, an aquarium. This could go on for a while, but I'm gonna let you go. I'm Morgan. Bye!
Thanks, Morgan. Sadly, our birthday party is coming to the end. Thank you for everyone to help me in the hospital. All the kids in the hospital, remember to listen to your parents. My name is Fatima. Happy birthday, Juice TV. Bye.
This is a big question for us. How do you create a 78? Oh, sorry. 78. I was confused. 72 or 78.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh God.
Yes, I will marry you.
No,
Oh.
that wasn't. We haven't even started.
Oh, okay, but you are. So you're gonna ask that once we've started, if I'll marry.
No.
When you? So
I'm
when
gonna say whatever I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Then you answer.
Remember, guys, it's so easy to be a part of Juice TV. Whether you want to be a host, help us out behind the scenes with filming, or decide what goes into each episode. Let us know you want to be involved by sending an email to hello@juicetv.com.au or speak to one of the friendly volunteers throughout the hospital in the green shirts. Also, head to our website and Facebook page for all the updates about what we're filming at the hospital.